It's commonly believed that people have a natural desire to be a part of a group, but there are a significant number of young people who isolate themselves at home, avoiding education or work, and withdrawing from society. This phenomenon, known as Hikikomori in Japan, is known as extreme social withdrawal globally. Extreme social withdrawal is a phenomenon where individuals, particularly young people, isolate themselves at home and withdraw from participation in society. It is a serious problem because it can lead to negative consequences such as lack of social skills, limited employment opportunities, lack of sense of purpose, and poor mental health, among others. Additionally, extreme social withdrawal can be a sign of underlying issues, such as mental health disorders or negative family dynamics that need to be addressed. It's important to note that there can be positive reasons for seeking solitude, such as religious contemplation or mental clarity. This does not fall under the same category. It seems that it is difficult for contemporary hermits to survive in current society. They are often dependent on their families or resort to criminal activity. Overall, extreme social withdrawal is considered a clinically relevant problem with major individual and social implications and is best understood through a developmental psychopathology perspective. The concept of extreme social withdrawal is at odds with the need to belong, which is a fundamental motivation for human beings to form and maintain relationships. From a young age, infants use crying and smiling to ensure proximity to parents for survival, and as they grow older, social connections at school, with peers, and in the workplace become increasingly important. According to Erikson's psychosocial theory, adolescence is a crucial period for the development of identity and the transition to adulthood. During this time, individuals engage in personal and interpersonal experimentation to find out who they are and what they want to do in life. Success in this leads to a strong sense of self-esteem and the ability to operate independently while still conforming to societal norms. However, if individuals fail in this, they may experience extreme doubts about their identity and existence, leading to isolation and a sense of being lost. From a biological perspective, the human brain is unique in its ability to understand and interact with others, known as the social brain. This includes areas such as the amygdala and medial prefrontal cortex, which undergo development during adolescence to improve social cognitive abilities. However, abnormal brain processes or negative experiences can lead to negative social development, including social withdrawal, loneliness, and depression. Normally, young people have a natural motivation to connect with others, form their identity, and have their brain develop in a way that allows them to process social information effectively. These views can also be applied to young people who display extreme social withdrawal. These individuals may lack the motivation for forming relationships, be struggling with their identity development, or have difficulty dealing with the social and emotional challenges of adolescence, which can lead to them disengaging from social life. The condition is commonly defined by three key elements. First one being the marked social isolation in one's home. Second, for isolation to be in the duration of at least 6 months. And third, a significant functional impairment or distress. The severity of social isolation can also be classified as mild, moderate, or severe. It's important to note that extreme social withdrawal is a persistent and refractory problem that is associated with substantial psychosocial impairment and disability. It's also associated with increased risk of suicide. Studies have found a lifetime prevalence of around 1 to 2% in Japan. It is more common in males and usually starts during adolescence or young adulthood. There is limited data on its prevalence in other countries, but studies indicate it is also quite common in Western countries, and the number of people experiencing it is on the rise. This phenomenon is difficult to reconcile with the human need to belong and form relationships. The trait of extroversion-introversion plays a role, where introverts tend to withdraw from social situations and are more susceptible to becoming trapped in social disengagement. Child psychology research has also shown that early temperament characteristics, such as behavioral inhibition, can be a significant vulnerability factor in the development of social dysfunctioning, including social anxiety disorder and selective mutism. Loneliness and aloneness are related to social withdrawal but have different meanings. Loneliness is an unpleasant feeling that arises from the perception that one's social relationships are insufficient. Loneliness, on the other hand, is a negative feeling that arises from the perception that one is not spending enough time on their own. Studies have shown that social withdrawal is a diverse construct and it can be motivated by a lack of social needs or an attempt to seek solitude. Some people who withdraw from social life may not feel lonely and instead are motivated by a desire for more solitude. Prolonged absenteeism from school may be an early indicator of extreme social withdrawal. Young people may skip school for various reasons, including avoiding distress, social or evaluative fears, or preferring to engage in other activities. In the U.S., the rate of chronic absenteeism, which is defined as missing 10% or more of regular school days, is around 15%. It is important to note that not all of these students meet the criteria for the condition, but there is some overlap. Extreme social withdrawal is often seen as a sign of immaturity or rejection of societal norms. However, it's important to consider that society and the timing of adulthood have changed in recent years. Studies have shown that the transition to adulthood is now taking place later in life, leading to the concept of quasi-adulthood or adultolescence for those in their late teens and early 20s. These terms suggest that some young people may be stuck in their development process, particularly those who display extreme social withdrawal. The condition can also be associated with various psychiatric disorders, such as schizophrenia, social anxiety disorder, depression, autism spectrum disorder, and avoidant personality disorder. However, the exact role of social withdrawal in these disorders is not clear. Some experts believe that extreme social withdrawal is a symptom of the disorder, while others believe it is a result. Additionally, contemporary society has its own set of challenges that young people must face, such as pressure to succeed in education and the job market, limited financial resources, and the difficulties of balancing real-life activities with the constant use of digital media. These societal pressures can slow down young people's progression into adulthood and, in some cases, may create the conditions for some to withdraw from the world. It's important to note that the availability of public resources and the presence of a supportive family can also play a role in whether or not a young person experiences extreme social withdrawal. All in all, the phenomenon has a multifaceted origin. One aspect that may play a role is the family environment, and specifically, the role of parents. Studies have shown that a significant proportion of parents of individuals with extreme social withdrawal have psychiatric problems themselves and may be less aware of or capable of addressing their child's problems. Additionally, dysfunctional family dynamics, such as high levels of conflict, poor communication, and a lack of empathy, may contribute to the development and maintenance of the condition. Other behaviors such as overprotective parenting and avoidance of communication about the problem may also play a role. Another factor is bullying and peer victimization, which are harmful behaviors that can lead to social withdrawal and loneliness among adolescents. Studies have shown a link between these negative experiences and the condition. In particular, it has been found that earlier peer victimization is associated with higher levels of withdrawal and can also increase the risk for future peer victimization. This suggests that bullying and peer victimization play a role in its development. Negative social experiences threaten a person's self-esteem and can have a negative impact on their perception of life. In today's society, the use of digital devices, such as smartphones and computers, and the internet, have become widespread, particularly among younger generations. While these technologies have many positive aspects, they can also have negative consequences, particularly for those experiencing extreme social withdrawal. These individuals may use technology to fulfill their needs for social interaction and to conduct daily activities, but this can lead to displacement of real-life relationships with digital ones. Studies have shown that excessive internet use can lead to an increase in depression and loneliness, particularly when used to cope with social inadequacies or to escape from the social world. Research also shows that individuals with extreme social withdrawal tend to use the internet and smartphones more excessively and may even display behaviors of internet addiction, which can interfere with their daily functioning. This condition can be seen as a disruption of the normal developmental process of transitioning to adulthood, and it is important to understand its nature to help those who are affected. The developmental psychopathology perspective emphasizes that extreme social withdrawal is not a distinct category, but rather an extreme expression on a dimension of behavior. It also highlights that skills and abilities progress in a similar order during developmental stages, and the transition from adolescence to adulthood involves developing one's own identity and gaining autonomy. Extreme social withdrawal can be difficult to intervene and prevent, but it is best to do so at the middle or high school level, when students who are frequently absent or drop out can be easily detected. A good approach would be to have a well-functioning attendance officer and school counselor who can work together to find out the root cause of the withdrawal behavior and provide appropriate interventions, such as addressing bullying, adjusting the educational level, or referring to a mental health specialist. Additionally, schools can use standardized surveys to evaluate the well-being of students and detect the risk of extreme social withdrawal early on, providing opportunities for preventive action. In conclusion, this is a global phenomenon that is now receiving increasing attention. Factors that contribute to extreme social withdrawal are universal and particularly prevalent in affluent parts of the world. For now, more research is needed to understand the causes in adolescents and young adults, develop effective screening methods, and evaluate interventions to help those affected reintegrate into society.